I'm alive. I'm alive? I didn't know that. I thought I was dead. It says I'm live, so okay. Uh, see, I'll let somebody join in here before I get onto that subject. But I want to talk Illinois Ghost. He had his little thing about the other name of meaning of the name, or the other name that Forrest was going to use for Too Far to Walk, and it was Aguilar or whatever. It meant that that he's what his name is. And he came up with, he said, well, his name is Forrest, and that means this. And he forgot he has a last name. Fenn is a muddy bog. A Fenn is a muddy bog. So yeah, the forest and a Fenn is a muddy bog in a forest. It's the part in a forest. It's the part where there's trees and mud. It's just mud around the beaver pond, maybe, or something. But yeah, his Rick McDonald, he was right about I had a little cartoon and there's the head coming up out of the ground, and that's a forest in fan, a forest in the fan, in the wood, forest in the wood. There's the head sticking out of the ground because he's up to his ears in the mud, and that's what the muddy bog is, a forest, a muddy bog in a forest. That's a Forrest fan. So yeah, he had that. But my thought was, and the title of the video is about Forrest said to take it in the canyon down. Just take the chest and go in peace. In the canyon, you're gonna exit where you grab the chest, where you grab the treasure. That's my jeweler's loop thing, I got it on thing hanging around my neck so I can look at rocks. But he said, take it in. So when you pick up the chest, and the route back to your car is in the canyon down. So when you go to get it, you're gonna have to go up. But also he's grab all the bananas on the way back, right? On the way back. Oh, okay. What is it? They say, okay, some of us are over the hill. We're on the way back. Yeah. When you're first born, you're they say over the hill. Yeah, because and over the hill is going over the omega, too, So to take it in the canyon down, you're also going, because you got no paddle up your creek. Okay, after you found where warm water's haul, it says take it in the canyon down, put in below the Homer Brown, and right below the Homer Brown is the gypsies up on the canyon wall. Right across from the gate of Bootjack Ranch, there's a cliff wall up there, and the gypsies are up there. You see them pretty good at sunset time, is when they show up the best. And that's when you see the princess and the guy holding his princess in his hand. And and he's looking up at her like this. It's... she's got a headdress on, and the headdress, every one of the feathers in her headdress is another Indian, But take it in the canyon. Now, it's when you pick up the chest, you're gonna take it in. You're gonna go down the canyon to get back to your car. That's my situation, anyhow, that I'm looking at. And when I went to Del Norte yesterday to get my mail and my part for my piece of shit generator I got out there that I think they welded the two pieces together. I don't know what. I'm trying to get it open. It got too cold, and so I'll do it tomorrow. It's supposed to be 4 degrees warmer tomorrow, so maybe my fingers won't get so cold. But Yeah, when I went to Del Norte, there's snow on the ground there. If there's snow on the ground there, there's snow on the ground, a lot more of it up in the mountains. Some of my ruins I explore and stuff are kind of down in the valley and borderline forest and valley, right in the foothills and stuff. But there's a lot of formations there. I found stuff. I got to come up with new names for places and or ways of naming places. So I might have the same name with something, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and once you get it, okay, I gotta have a new name for stuff. And sometimes I name them after the formation. Sometimes I name them after a creek in the area or something, you know. But okay, he says, begin at where warm water is halt. You take it in the canyon down. From there, there's no place for them to be. There be no paddle up your creek. So you already come down one creek or canyon. Most likely, if you're going from a hot spring and you're going down the canyon, you're following some type of waterway. And in this case, it's a river. It's not a creek. So that canyon you take down is not a creek canyon. It's a river canyon. And so no paddle up your creek is going to be a creek off of that one. And you're going to go up it. Up it. Until you find water high and you look below the water high. Well, water high happens to be a lake. And you follow this creek that comes out of the lake and it ends at another creek that and at the W of the word wood. That's, you see it on Google Earth when you look down, and there's that big W and the OOD, and that's where I found Skippy's Buffalo Cowboys car with the 50 caliber hole to the nose. And I mean, I can't put his Vietnam story together with the Buffalo Cowboy car. I can't fathom how. What would be subtle about that? What would be subtle about a 50 caliber hole in a Model A cowl that looks like the Buffalo Cowboys car? What would be subtle about that? I can't figure that out. No, I did. My brain can't follow Gorman. He's all messed up and he doesn't know what he's talking about because my mind doesn't have that kind of imagination. Some people, imagination's key. Yeah, it'd be a little slippery getting to my spot with the snow on it, being it is a little bit of a slope. It's about like this, So but it's and there's loose rocks too, So walking on snow with loose rocks underneath it, and not fun. This thing slipped, and you go. I wasn't ready to fall on my ass. Yeah. Forrest says my Clovis. I thought it was a Clovis knife. I call it Fred Flintstone's pocket knife. It's more like a multi-tool because it has all the. It has a bone chopper, a knife for skinning, a knife for scraping. Or for cutting meat. It's really a versatile tool, I found. So, and it has a thing for skinning arrowheads, for scraping the bark off of the sticks and stuff. Or maybe he's making some, twine or baskets or something, using that for, I don't know, it's a notched cut in the stone. But Forrest says from 1150 AD to 1500 AD, made by a Pueblo Indian. So, yeah, I just wanted to mention about that. Take it in the canyon down. Could be once you take it, I give you title to the gold and you take it in the canyon down. You take it with you, but it's going to be downhill exit. So, one easy way. Well, another thing, I have a cart I made for one of my early. I thought for sure it was going to be up there, and I didn't want to hike up there twice. And I made a little cart. That's the one I used to get my generator out of the RV. I used it for that. It worked great. But the idea was it was a cart, and it had two handles that I could hold behind me, and it was kind of a single wheel, like a wheelbarrow that I could, but it was just a flat cart with a stopper board on it, But I used it for backpack, and the thing that worked out nice with it was that's where I put my water on there. The water's heavy, so I put my water on there, and there were beaver ponds up there. So yeah, the water, and you got to be careful about, what streams you get water from. They're not all fresh springs. Filter everything. I boil it. I've gotten water from the streams, but I'll pour it through zero filter, and then I'll boil it. So, make it safe. That's why hot springs are fairly germ free, because they're so they boil all the germs out of them. I still have got my new part. I haven't put it on my damn generator yet. Oh man, that irks me. And when we read the instruction, just pop it out and pop it back. They left out all of the instructions of getting to it. All of that's left out of the. And it says in the book, these rarely, there's never any need to change it, because they last forever. They rarely break. Until you're someplace and a little mouse gets in there. A little mouse climbs through all the little air vents they got on the thing, gets in there, and you go to start your generator, and the thing comes around, and it's 12-year-old plastic part that's dried out and fragile as shit, and it hits that mouse and breaks off, and then all of a sudden your generator's like it's like a horse with two legs. It's running on one cylinder instead of two, or actually they said there's the two things on it. One turns the ignition on, the other turns the ignition off as they're going around. On, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. So what it would do is turn it on and it wouldn't turn off. or the turn on, it had to come all the way around again before it turned off, and so it wouldn't fire and then turn back on the next. It was just really screwed up. It goes, pieces. Damn Onan generators, man. I don't know. If they ask me a better idea, they got on the other end of the generator, there's a big old flywheel. I could have put the magnets on that and the sensor right there. I could rig magnets to that flywheel and move the sensor over to that flywheel and bypass. I can MacGyver that frickin' thing to run if I can't get that housing off of there. Yeah, if you're an engineer, I know what to do here. They should have put the damn thing on the side of the engine that was accessible so that you could replace. But then my little, there would be no way that it'd be pretty much impossible to break it. It wouldn't be the fragile little piece of crap. It'd just be magnets right there on the flywheel. Stick out and go past the sensor. It doesn't matter if they go around a great big flywheel or a little thing, And that's the other thing. Why wasn't the sensor right up in there against the drive shaft itself with the magnets right on the drive with no little arms to break off? You know what I mean? They could have done it that way. There's several ways to do it where it doesn't have these two little arms, little plastic fingers sticking out. You got these two things spinning around at 4,000 3,000 RPM, and it's just a little plastic, and it's got a little magnet in there. So what happened? There was a mouse in the generator, and it broke off one of these, and so it's just got one of them spinning around in there. And the thing is, they could have had a device where the magnets weren't on arms. Magnets could have been right up next to the ring. They could have been right on the ring with the sensor coming in and sticking there by the ring, because the sensor doesn't move. It's the ring spinning that triggers the sensor. So all the sensor needs to do is see a magnet going by twice per rotation. It doesn't have to be on arms sticking out. Yeah, Onan needs to. I don't know, but I guess I don't learn about these screwed up devices until I own one and got to go fix it, and I go, who the hell designed this piece of shit? I've seen a lot of pieces of crap design. And that's like who designed the fiber optic or the network for Verizon that comes in here. It comes out of Walsenburg and comes over 160 through Levita and stuff, and it goes all the way up to Wolf Creek Pass. And then the signal goes back out the same way. This whole valley is served by one fiber optic line coming in. And so everything comes in on that, serves the whole valley, and it all goes back out on that same one. What they need is to come in here and go down to Taos and then on to Santa Fe and come back around another way. That's how you design telecommunication network. You don't do... What they got here is a flat network. So they had a forest fire, cut the whole valley off from communications, turned it all off practically, because they didn't have a diverse ring, a backup route in case there was a fire. It burned the fiber cable. They're supposed to have it's supposed to, it's burnt over here, so we're going to go around through Santa Fe to get to Denver, or whatever. It takes a different, it goes around the other way. That's how you design it. And Verizon has some idiots working in their network network engineering department, or they don't even care. They're leasing stuff, and they don't know what they've leased. The company tell, yeah, it's diverse, it's sonnet ring protected, and it's not protected. If you come in on this cable and you go back out the same cable, if you cut that cable, you're in and out are both cut. You know, so whatever. But as far as the yeah, take it with you. Hey, Richard, take it in the canyon down. Mean after you pick it up, you take it in the canyon down back to your car. That's one excuse for that. Forrest Fenn is on it, rain. Yep. Yeah, I was a outside plant engineer and manager, Time Warner Telecom. I still got business cards from there to say I was. And I've been a cellular systems engineer and I managed Time Warner fiber optic network for Central Florida, for Orlando, and went out to Daytona. Our lines went to Daytona and Melbourne, Cocoa Beach, Palm Bay, and all the way down to Winter Haven and Polk City, and we served Disney and we purchased time area in Boise. That what was Level 3? Level 3 is another telecommunications company that lease. They had fiber running all over, and they'd lease it, and you could, like the Level 3 would have everybody's fiber, a bunch of conduits, and you could lease fibers or conduits or whatever you wanted, So there's all kinds of phone companies in there. And I worked for Level 3 for a bit as a temp, and I had a company truck, right? And I was going to. I had this guy, black guy, riding with me, who was another engineer, and he was also an attorney, and he was a licensed attorney, but he was working as a telecommunications engineer, and there was I was doing some work near DeLand, Florida, and we were coming out and taking this road, and the road coming the other way on the road I was on was traffic because there was an accident on on I-4, so all the traffic was coming at us. It's just bumper to bumper cars. They were stopped basically, and I was in a 40-mile-an-hour zone, probably doing 35, whatever, with no traffic going my direction, right? And we got up to a spot, and somebody going the other way stopped to let somebody exit a Jehovah's Witness church to get over to my side, and I'm coming up, and all of a sudden a car comes out from between, right in front of me, and the road was wet because there was a little rain, and so I'm doing what I can to slow down. This woman pulls out in a Neon, and I'm in an F-150, and she couldn't make the left turn and put it in reverse right in my lane. I'm trying to stop, and she's backing up. Boom, nailed her, and go back to get back to the office and all that. They blame me. And I got laid off because of some stupid, one of them bees. I nailed her right in the rear bumper. She was backing up. And, and she tried to, she's after to sue the company, you know? And it's like, hey, I'm a witness. She was backing up, you know? And so I got a witness. My other guy, your other employees saw it. I wasn't speeding or nothing, you know? So I get fired for that bullshit. So I don't like some of them. So you know, when somebody fires you for that stuff, and when you're in telecommunications, you got sometimes you go like the guy I worked for in Denver showed up at the Time Warner office in Orlando. You know, I wasn't working for him anymore. He shows up down there. Hi, John. Yeah. I didn't think I was getting paid right, and some of the jobs were, yeah. But I was designing building entries for downtown Denver. I find a manhole where our fiber cable, where our splice is, and I designed from that manhole into the building and to the top floor. So we had a conduit for to serve anybody in that building. Yeah. Ding dong divers. Yeah. Yeah. This thing sucks. I was blank. That's one reason I got a dash cam in my car. If I remember to empty the memory stick, I try to save too many of them. You can't just keep saving 32 gigabyte cards. Your terabytes fill up pretty quick when you're saving all those 32 gigabyte cards. But I'll save the better things or edit a little video out. Like one night I came home or I drove from Denver to Salida, and there was like 5-6 places where cops had people pulled over and stuff. And one of them, that's one thing the Department of Transportation needs to take a look at cop lights, and their safety on dark, rainy nights. Because I was coming down into Bailey on 285 in Colorado, down into Bailey where the Bigfoot Museum is, But I was coming down there, and ahead of me up the road, there was a cop had somebody pulled over, and the lights were just... I couldn't see the road. I couldn't tell where his car was. I couldn't see anything. I slowed down to like 5 miles an hour because that bastard was blinding the shit out of me. I could have plowed right into the back of his car and blamed it on him for blinding me. And they need to... yeah. Hey, David. Yeah, that cop almost... I got video of it, and you can't see nothing but that flashing light all over the place. When it's that dark, I don't need them that bright to see it. I see a flashing light on a bicycle, and it doesn't destroy my vision. Yeah. Yeah. It's something they need safety regulations for police lights. It should be able to sense the lighting in the area. It's dark outside. My lights don't have to be as bright, basically. And once they got someone stopped, they just need a yellow flasher. Hey, I'm here. Or they don't have to, those lights like that are to scare the shit out of the guy in the car that's getting pulled over. So, big thanks to you, Kramer. The industry is a roller coaster. Adventure on the trail crosses it. Like a windy lots of fun. Thanks for sharing. Ebony. Oh, you mean the thing? The thing that Richard was talking about? The other Richard, yeah, true. Nice bird. Oh, Kramer. Yep. Missing something? Happy hump day. I'm not a camel, I'm a mammoth. Camels celebrate hump day. If you show me a mammoth that doesn't have a trunk full of gold. Elephants are nature's treasure, so it would be the mammoth then, because they're really elephant. You know, they're all pachyderms. So, yeah, there's a rhino, a pachyderm. These people hunted on them, man. You know, you don't go outside and shoot your truck, do you? Well, the people, they didn't hunt the mammoths. They used them to hunt. They rode on them. What do we need a horse for? We can put the whole family on there. You know, and they did. I've seen depictions, and they had big baskets on them with bunch of people on them. You know, the mammoth was even bigger than the African elephant. So they could put quite a few people, and I got one image of a mammoth that was a pretty good detail of him. Which one was that? Somebody commented on it not long ago. There it is. See? Like, oop. Turn it around. Here you go. See the screen. Oop. See, up here in this rock, that's a mammoth in there. These are the tusks coming up. And you see the trunk curls down underneath. I don't know, something. But this is the old mammoth shape. Where is it? There is it. Advance. There. See, it's like that. So, you know, there's one where it depicted, you know, it depicts the tusk. And what I got here is these are people laying on the ground. They're shapes, and I cut them out too. So, you know, that's a lot of what they're horizontal people and mammoths. Maybe I did. Maybe I lost his tail, or his tail's part of that. I don't know. But yeah, it was definitely a trunk and tusks on him. Okay, back to in the light. I gotta get my other computer screen brighter here, but there. That's all I mean. It's just computer screen doing my lighting. And I think maybe the lines on the screen are because it's low light. Did anyone find the chest yet? It's sitting on his chest. he keeps it close to his heart. And there was something else I saw. Oh yeah, I got my copy of the Spirits of '76, Eric Sloan, and And first thing when I pull it out of the wrapper, I bought it on eBay. I pull it out of the wrapper and stamped inside. I gotta turn on the light. It'll probably property of Reverend Wayne Stufflebeam. So my book is blessed. It belonged to the Reverend. So I got a blessed copy of The Spirits of 76. This is supposed to be the same as the one with the bells, but I don't know. Or maybe there's just the same story. Maybe it's just the same story. But I like this in the back. If I cut it down, it'll sprout again. In the story about hope. Oh my God. You don't know how much that word, that word right there, it's in my solve. Definitely in my solve. And because, yeah, I got lots of hope. And that's about all I got. There's the Eric Sloan on the back. H-Bird, yeah. So, and the other thing, Spirits of 76, that's my year I graduated, 76. We were the class of 76. So I we were the Spirit of 76 class. So, and that's one thing, I haven't been to Philadelphia yet. Watch the place. I haven't been there yet. Don't bother my monkey. I ain't been to Philadelphia yet, baby. Oh yeah, I have been to Philadelphia. I haven't been to the Liberty Bell because I bought this in Philadelphia. I got my own Liberty Bell. It's got a different clanger. Why didn't they make the clanger the same? They made the bell look the same, but the clanger is different than the. See, the clanger is different. What is that? A string or a cobweb in there? Yeah. No. And this is bronze. That's a bronze bell, I believe. It's because it's bronze color. Bronze has kind of a root beer tint to it, usually, I think. And brass has more of a golden tone. So, look at this. You know, one is bigger than the other. This is my brass frogs. So, yeah, one is slightly bigger than the other. This one's bigger than this one. And their innards are different. See, one is like gold inside, and the other has like a liquid pearl thing in there. But they're both green frogs with red eyes. Yeah, I have a pair of frogs, not just one, you know. One hand enough. I got 2 frogs. I got 2 bells. Double omegas. I'm set. But, what do we got? Yeah, this thing belonged to Reverend Stufflebeam from Waterloo, Iowa. So, some of the people there are out there in Waterloo, their area. I think what's his name was out in that area. Not Nevin's in Arkansas, I think. And let's see, who's it up in Waterloo? That's the he came here. Ran into him. I'm bad with remembering names. Man, when I started working at some place, any place, wasn't that the word that if I go back, what was the word that Rick McDonald had on his video? The spirit of agronomy. Okay. Well, they're talking about growing potatoes, and this is a potato valley. They grow potatoes all over here. In 1958, Eisenhower summed up the nation saying, "We have progressed from an isolated farm economy to a world industrial economy. That isolated farm economy happened to be more than an economy. It was our way of life, a personal and national philosophy in progressing. The individual has now become a different person in a different nation. If the pioneer could return today, he would certainly be impressed by the wonders of scientific change, but he would also be aware that his unique nation was no more." Changed, fucked up. Yeah. Oh yeah, but things are gonna get really spicy on the news pretty soon. Yeah. Because all of these places where they're counting ballots and they got 47,000 more votes on one one item on the ballot than any of the other items on the ballot and all that. Homeland Security's been watching it all, and the thing is that they got to let them commit the crime. They can't charge them if they haven't committed the crime. So they're letting them commit the crime, and they're catching them with their pants down. Yeah. A woman in Florida, she's going to jail. And so, and what they say they're going to do, they're going to, the person running who, like, say, Bill Nelson, has all the, he's behind the fraudulent vote count. They say when they count all the votes, the Democrats want them to count all the votes. That means they want them to count the illegal votes. Yeah, and so we're okay. You count those, and we're going to throw you in jail, basically. So, you know, they've got them nailed. Because they already know that these are all phony votes, that they were all trucked in and stuff. They found a box of ballots at the Avis car rental place. They left there 2 boxes of ballots or something. What were they? The Republican ballots they were throwing away? They couldn't find a place to dump them. Agronomy. And I think it's close to the where Rick was mentioning that Forrest was going to use chasing agronomy or something. I'm going to look it up right now. Agronomy. Agronomy, ancient Greek, the science and technology, producing and using plants for food, fuel, fiber. Agronomy, using agriculture. Spirit of agriculture. Yeah, the trees would fall under agriculture too. The Forest Department is under the Department of Agriculture. Agronomy, but it's close to that other word. Because the other word meant to live to what your name is. Forrest, Fenn, is a muddy bog in the forest. Anyone find the chest? No, I keep seeing David Kramer. Anyone find the chest yet? Anyone find the chest yet? Dogo, can you say that? I've read it 4 times, David. Yeah. Yeah. Go to the beach, David. You'll find lots of chests. The spirit of time. And I have a walk your horses. Okay, now it's a covered bridge there. It reminds me, I have a page called Oregon's Historic Covered Bridges, and I have a Google Earth KMZ file in there that you can put on Google, and it'll show you 50, I think it's 56 covered bridges in Oregon, and I have my own pictures of about half of them. 28 or so of them, so I'm pretty close to half of them. But I got on the treasure hunt, and I haven't been paying attention to that. So I've tried to get some other photographers or something to take over, to go help out with that, and no luck. But I got about 4,000 followers or so, or I don't know. It's a lot of people follow, and the Oregon DOT follows it and comments on it. Yeah, but I haven't done much with it in a long time, except to add some of the artistic pictures. The spirit of independence. That means I'm not part of a gypsy cabal, or I'm independent. Pretty much. If I could get the streaming thing where I could invite somebody else to be on with me, I'd do it. But I don't know. They all seem to cost money. Is there a free one? Other than I could Skype on the computer and retransmit it, but my computer doesn't get the high speed. Cut down. What else is in here? The spirit of godliness. This book is supposed to be about the, what America was, the spirit of 76, what it used to be, and it isn't anymore. My thing's not scrolling. Okay, there's a whole bunch of... Whatever Williams stuff will be. Yeah, okay. Now I'm catching up because stupid computer, the stupid phone wasn't scrolling. Yeah. It's 18 degrees outside right now. And the last couple nights it was only like 0. Good evening, Eugene. David, I'll get it. yes, sir. That's Eugene. Eugene. Oh my gosh, ring that bell. Left. Chasing a vagabond. Chasing a vagabond. Yeah, vagabond. Yeah, he said vagabond. I thought he said vagabond, but I think Rick McDonald looked up agagon or something. He never heard of a vagabond, maybe. You know, a vagabond is like a hobo, uh, a homeless person. God, man, forest fins are burning. Yeah, it's kind of hard to burn mud. I don't know. I want to climb the Spanish Peaks. I can see one of the Spanish Peaks from here. Just a little piece of it is sticking out. I thought I couldn't see any of them from here, but I can see a little trace of it. It's such a small part of it. That's why it's hard to notice. I had to, from the end of the street, you see it better, but I can still see it from my RV. Looks for nothing new. Working on brand. What is this? Yeah, they ain't too bad. You want to try climb Mount Blanca? That thing's it's like a crown on the top. But over by Wolf Creek Pass, there's a road. It's just a little down the hill from the pass signs and stuff, and it goes up to the cell tower up on top of the mountain. That's 12,000 and something feet, and man, the view up there, you can see a lot of the San Juans from up there. Beautiful. Spirit of pioneering. Spirit of thankfulness. The spirit of frugality. And I think Forrest mentioned this number too. When did he get out of the Air Force? Was it maybe a little before that. The spirit of frugality. The spirit of hard work. There we go. Whoever finds that chest is going to work hard for it. You remember? Whoever finds it's going to work hard for it. The spirit of hard work. So this is going to be... I gathered together a museum of early American tools, partly because of their historical value, and also because their designs made them works of art. Their designs made them works of art. Wood is art. Hard to resist collection, but those who come to view them now seem mostly impressed by their size and weight. The tools of the pioneers seem to have been designed for giants, axes that are difficult to lift. Because they were stronger then, you know? It's like this, I watched a video on how to do this thing on my generator, and he says generally it takes two big guys, two big boys to pull that generator out of the RV. Or one Incredible Hulk, you know? Because I did it alone. Hope is all good. I used leverage and MacGyver ability. Did you get an Xbox bill? Yeah, I was just... If I showed you on my screen, my eBay screen, yeah. I'll show you my eBay screen. But, I took my first computer programming class when I was a junior in high school back in 1975. And back then, computers it was a teletype machine. It was like a paper scrolling thing with a keyboard. There was no computer monitor, no screen to look at. You typed things to the computer, and the computer typed things back to you. That was your screen, was what was typed on there. And I learned how to create little icons back then, to make the little Pac-Man icon. I could, learn how to make animated icons and stuff in BASIC. Yeah, I learned BASIC, DOS, BASIC. And then when I worked for Sprint in 84, 85 stuff, I had a compact, portable compact computer, and man, that thing was like a case of it was bigger than a 42 pack of beer. You know what I mean? And that was a portable computer, and it had a little green CRT screen like that. and I designed microwave networks with it. You do terrain profile analysis and all that. And I had the code for the program, and so I took that code and I put it into Excel, and so I could design microwave systems using Excel. So the spirit of hard work, planes, okay, stone boats weighing hundreds of tons, hundreds of pounds, 50-pound sledgehammers, planes, chisels, and 3 times larger than ones we use today. They make me exhausted just looking at them. And said the visitor, those men must have glutens for punishment, or must be glutens for punishment. Must have been glutens for punishment. Those men, believe it or not, did not regard work as punishment. They found dignity in sweat. One of the oldest diaries in my collection reads, October 20th, 1760, celebrated the reward of the cleared North Forest. For a long while I presumed there might have found a sum of money in the field, until I contemplated a sampler that came with my farmhouse, which was obviously sewn by a young girl. Okay, I'm not a very good reader, so I'm going to stop reading. But something there just reminded me of something. This guy Chill Bill, he does metal detecting videos, and he just got himself bought a $10,000 metal detector. It's supposed to show you images of what's under the ground, show you pictures of this is what's down there. It'll show you the shapes and everything. And it'll go down several feet. So that I got a couple of spots. If I can, next time he's over in England, so maybe Paul can talk Chill Bill into coming out here, and I got some prime targets for Forrest Fenn's treasure. Yeah, 1 1/4 floppy was a hard. In 1977, or 1978, I was building 12-inch floppy drives at Intel. A 12-inch floppy drive, big old, the size of an LP, you know. We had 10-inch floppy drives and 12-inch floppy drives. Big black disc, yeah, in a sleeve, in a plastic sleeve. basically. And yeah, I was a electromechanical assembler. Oh, what happened to that job? Uh, but yeah, that was a fun place to work. I had some good friends there. There was Intel in Santa Clara, California, right on 101. And later on, I worked on as an electrician. I did the temperature controls for some Intel fabrication buildings. The wrong way, but a long way as well. I grew up in Sunnyvale. Ah, yeah. You know where Lawrence crosses the railroad tracks? That what would it be? Northeast corner uh, of the railroad tracks in Lawrence. We had is Lawrence two? No, Lawrence ain't 237. 237 goes into Mountain View. Um, but um, well, I lived there in 1960, 1961 and 62. Well, we lived there when we went to the Seattle World's Fair. We lived there because, yeah, that's, and I was like 4 years old. So it was 62, we lived there. That's when I had my back burned off from my neck all the way past my ass. All the skin came off one cheek. And there was a 15-acre walnut orchard there. And they tore down the house and pulled up all the walnut trees and all that, and because they were building that overpass for the Lawrence Expressway. There was, no over. It used to be Lawrence Station Road, and there was a Modez factory across the street where they made sanitary napkins. And we had our street there was lined with palm trees that were like 100 feet tall. And the driveway was maybe 100 feet long, or so. Man, it had to be longer than that. But when you're a little kid, it looks bigger. And now the street that's there now is lined with redwood trees. I think that's like, it's even grander than palm trees because those redwood trees can go 300 feet tall. Or more, they'll be awesome. Yeah. I lived there in the early '60s, and we moved from there to Mountain View. Right. We lived right on the other side of the 101 from where the drive-in was, and the where they made the water slides and stuff there. And we'd sit up on the roof and watch the Blue Angels at Moffett Field. you know, and my great grandfather be out there. We tell him, "Here they come, here they come," and he'd be turning. And as soon as he got there, they're gone the other. Oh, they went the other way. He never seen him because he couldn't turn around fast enough. He lived to be 92. My great grandfather died when I was 10 years old, or maybe 9 years old. Yeah, my great grandmother died when I was 10. Moffett Field, yeah. We used to go to the hangar there all the time. They fly hot air balloons inside that hangar. They built dirigibles there, blimps and stuff. They've even flown airplanes through the building. The big blimp. The hangar's still there, right? That thing's a landmark. They got that big wind tunnel for NASA. I recorded a Blue Angels air show there with video camera back in the 80s. About 86, I recorded a Blue Angel air show. No more hanger. Wow, really? The hangers over by Lockheed are still there, though, aren't they? The green ones. They're like big green hangers with doors. I have to look on Google Earth. Wow. I said, you know what they need to do? They need to take that Highway 85 that ends over there by Moffett. They need to take Highway 85 and connect it to Mission Boulevard in Fremont. Just go straight across the bay there. I mean, boom! There you take traffic off of Dumbarton and 237 at the same time, and it's just straight across the bay. Why not? And, they build a high freeway. Boom! They could even just tunnel underneath the water. They don't even have to put a bridge. Just put a little tunnel there to go, because it's just a little canal, basically, going across salt ponds, and you could basically do it the same way as a Dumbarton with a estuary or a causeway, and then a little tunnel underneath so boats can go over the top, and then you don't have any drawbridge or big high suspension bridge. If you engineer things right. The spirit of hard work, though, in Eric Sloan. Probably, yeah. If I was gonna do a video with some, RF Hecky could get her the bells, and this book are supposed to be the same, but I don't see. I think only the Liberty Bell story is maybe the only thing repeated, probably. But what's the Liberty Bell hanging on? A big old wooden. That's an hour. Big green ones are blue cube. Blue cube. The blue cube. What blue cube? Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, it was Orion P3, the world's fastest turboprop. Yeah, she comes up with a lot of. Still in the wrong state. That's the only, it's not. But she sees a lot of the figures and shapes in the books and stuff. If she saw some of my some of my pictures, the 24 megapixel ones, not the 2 megapixel ones you see on Facebook, and on any phone, you're not going to see the high resolution. You can't zoom in. You can't, But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in my pictures. She would, yeah, and it's almost a crystal ball type of thing, pretty much. It's Akashic. It's like how to read Akashic crystals. You're not going to be very good at reading Akashic crystals unless you can see some shapes and rocks, or see what's right in front of your eyes. If you're afraid to say, "Oh, that's what I see," or I think it's partly seeing it, and but I don't know. I've always wondered if it's a spiritual thing, because the stuff is really there, but only those who are truly spiritual can see it. It's not for the it's not for somebody that, like in Indiana Jones, only the penitent man can pass. Well, Penitente Canyon is right over here, and it's and it's part of my mammoth temple that's out here in the valley, kind of. it's a rocky, deserty kind of area. It's not really the area. The treasure is in the mountain area that I'm looking at, but I can't stay up there. I can only stay up there 14 days at a time, and I have to leave for 14 days or 16 days, and I can go back. So I go to this area down in the valley where there's a lot more to explore. Penitente, yeah, look, Penitente Canyon. It's a BLM campground, and he got a rock there they call Elephant Rock. Elephant Rock, we got an elephant. Sorry guys, I found about 600, 700, maybe 10,000 elephants just down the road. A whole parade of them. And what I got to do is I got to talk to. They don't have an archaeologist at the BLM here. The guy retired, I guess. So, but yeah, I need to get there's another reason I might go down to Arizona because I had my damage on my car and stuff. So after I get my whatever fixed on my car, probably gonna get the windshield, the roof fixed. I'll buy a hood myself instead of getting a $600 one, new one. I'll get a used one for $75, and that'll cover my $500 deductible. I'm thinking, yeah, how can I save? I can save money by gluing the mirror back on. Hey, Jason. You changing your name? Is North Face Hilgerson? Well, I think so. Maybe. But, yeah, I'm going to save some money on that. And, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it. So I can make fun of that name, huh? The North one. I don't know which one's you, but yeah. If you know anybody that knows old Stufflebeam, Reverend Wayne Stufflebeam in Waterloo, tell him I got his book. He must have died. He was born in 1917, so he must have recently died, and this came out of an estate auction or something, and ended up on eBay. So I think Mr. Stufflebeam's gone, or Reverend Stufflebeam, and my blessed copy of Eric Sloane's Spirit of '76. Yeah, I don't know. It says property of Stufflebeam. What kind of name is that? That's like Hickenlooper, or they got Hickenlooper in Colorado, and they got what was the guy was in Oregon? I called him Dick Slobber. They're talking about all the fraud going on in the California elections, and I bet when they go after the fraudsters, that Oregon is gonna pay heavy. That'd be a good name for a band. Dick Slobbers? Yeah, it's a Wabi Eagle, WABI Eagle at Gmail. Wabi is means white. It comes from my ancestor. One ancestor's brother, Major Robert Rogers, who was known as Wabi Matahondo, which meant the White Devil. He was the White Devil. That's what the Abenakis called him, the White Devil. And my peace pipe I got from an Abenaki chief. And the movie Northwest Passage with Spencer Tracy is about what Robert Rogers did to the Abenakis. Well, Robert Rogers, they went on a revenge run because the Abenakis had 600. They found 600 English scalps on their lodge poles outside their longhouses and whatever. Because the Indians would come down and they kept, kidnapping, burning homes and farms. They burned Robert Rogers' home and farm, and they kidnapped John Stark, who later on became General Stark. You've heard of Stark, General Stark, and I'm friends with some of his descendants because our ancestors were the Rogers Rangers, and Stark, Robert Rogers recruited John Stark into the Rogers Rangers, and that's where John Stark got all his training, was from my ancestors, the Rogers. They were all neighbors there. And another neighbor, who my 6th great grandfather, there was this family named Stetson. The Stetsons, they came to town, and my 6th great grandfather, Reverend David McGregor, he helped them out and gave them furniture and helped with something. He gave, I don't know if he gave them land or what, but they're in Dumbarton, New Hampshire. No D in Rogers, no D. It's Rogers. ROG, no D in Rogers Rangers, and there'd be an apostrophe S after the S. If the last letter in the name or the word is an S, you don't put an apostrophe S. You just put the apostrophe after the S. No, the apostrophe goes after Rogers, but not before the S. It goes after the S because the S is part of the name. It just, yeah, it means, yeah, same thing as, if the last letter of the word was an S, then you'd put an apostrophe S. But because the last letter is an S, the apostrophe goes after the S, showing that it's the Rangers they were Rogers' troop of Rangers. Yeah. Yeah, I have the where to go. It's the Associated Press book on punctuation and use of words, and it has, the only thing that's changed since 2011 is they have 100, they have 34 new genders in the new version. They have 34 new genders in the new version is all, Or is it 31? The Baskin Robbins. 31 flavors. Yeah. 31 genders. They can't have more than 31 genders because they can't outdo Baskin Robbins. I mean, if you're not a man or a woman, I'm not much interested in you. But and if you're a woman, I'm interested. If you're a man, I'm not interested really. And being buddies, but that's as far as it goes, man. I'm not like some of the hunters that. Yeah, it's like no, like Donald Trump says, "You're not my type." No homo brown, no. No homo browns. Yeah. Put in the gypsies are put in just below the homo brown. They're up there on the canyon wall. You can't have 1,000 confirmations and still be wrong. That's no place for the meek. No place for the meek. That's the no place for the meek. The 3 pigs, Red Riding Hood, Grandma were all meek. They were all meek, 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 meek. And no place for the meek. You ain't paddling up that creek. Not with all those waterfalls. You ain't gonna. Go ahead, I dare you. And what better reason to be no paddle up your creek than there's a bunch of waterfalls? You know? People, I can't get. He didn't climb up there above Treasure Falls. You got the wrong creek. That's a hint of riches old, maybe. But there's several creeks, and Red Ryder, he told Little Beaver, put in here. I'm gonna go round up the bad guys. You put in here. I'll be back. Put in is to stay. It's same as Terry. Some of the Terry, put in. Some of these words all mean the same thing. And so maybe he's hinting at, okay, it's not this word or this word, but it's one like that. And if you get all of these 9 words in a row, it's gonna have a statement. It would be some kind of statement or something. But what words are going to describe a tree? A particular tree out of 10 million trees, or what word is going to, you got the stories in his rocks. Of all these shapes I found one shape, one face in a tree, and that was a really good one. I use it's very clear, but most of them have been, because they've been carved into rocks, and the stories they're depicting are so bizarre and unusual and have construction to them. It makes sense, type of things. It's not random, bunch of people hugging a mammoth. They're all, it's the theme. They're mammoth huggers, like tree huggers. And I was going to end this almost 20 minutes ago. Burning the candle at both ends, right, Forrest? Yeah. His father was burning the candle at both ends. So, if he's burning the candle at both ends, you don't know if the treasure is at the beginning of the route or the end of it. He's sending you on this journey, and it really represents life. The poem does mean, at birth, where warm waters halt when you're born, and blah blah. And you go through his life and his memories to get to the other end of the rainbow. So it's a quantum, because it has multiple meanings, and it's quantum entanglement all the way from the beginning to the end, and you don't know where along the line the treasure was left. So you have to figure it out. And I think Rick, he was hitting on what I mentioned it last one of my last two videos where I showed him, with the head in the his head in the ground, and he's just a Forrest Fenn. Let's see, where is it? Open. I know where I put it. It's easy to find. There it is. So there he is. Those are my little fanatic logos I put in there for eyes. But that's Forrest. Forrest in a Fenn. It's in the forest. You see all the trees in the background. And he's sunken into the mud up to his ears. Soup's on. So, and then in Long John Silver, the nose to the toes points the way to the treasure. That's in Treasure Island with Long John Silver. So if you imagine, there's his nose, his toes would be straight down below him, and so the treasure is straight down under his nose. That's why he talks about noses. And what's an elephant trunk is a nose. And I gotta go look in that dark hole there. I can't, but it seems too small. But then he said it barely fit in there, in that, how that Great Bet barely fit in that bottle. How deep is the hole? There's a wiener, there's a dark hole there. But yeah, where that thing is also is, okay, you got the hills like this sloping down, right? And there's a creek running down there, and this keeps sloping the same all the way down, except the creek kind of goes along and coming down here, but it stops and it curves and comes around the side of this hill and then drops down instead of going the normal fall line. That'd be water high, ain't it? And the other thing, the other water high, that picture of Skippy holding the rock. Skippy holding the rock. Page 56 or something like that. So I might have the wrong page number. But Skippy holding the rock. And the picture was taken at upper Yellowstone Falls. What is upper? Water high. Upper, yeah, page 56. That picture, and it says Skippy holding a rock. That's what it says there. Skippy holding a rock. Well, rocks aren't important. Oh, I'm sorry. Why didn't it say Skippy at Upper Yellowstone Falls? Why does it say Skippy holding a rock? Why does it say, if I could find a good-looking rock, I'd make a marble? Yeah, he's making marbles in that chapter. And his father trying to find a substitute. What he wants to find, what you want to find, and what he found, what he's found, and what he's trying to find, in his memories. His memories, memoir. His memories are on the canyon walls, and I sure hope it's all about figuring it out, because I got it pretty well figured out. I think Forrest knows I got it figured out. He won't admit to me that I got it figured out. He'll even lie to me to make me think I ain't got it figured out. Yeah. He's it's like know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Playing the poker bluff. Um, because if it's a contest that he laid out rules before this all started, then he has to go by his rules. He had a set of rules. When there's a contest, they say here are the rules of the contest. Only this contest, his rules, he didn't publish the rules. They'll come out when after he dies in his will. The rules would probably be published to explain why that person won. But it's a possibility that that'll happen, but I'm not banking on it. I'm still looking for the treasure out in the forest. And damn, I don't want to go dig, because if that statue with that head in the forest, if scale, the feet of that figure would be from the nose to the toes. It would probably be 20 feet down. No, I think maybe 3 or 4 feet down is. I don't think it'd be that far down, but I think that could be kind of a muddy area sometimes of the year, but it's got good drainage. So, but I got my XP Deus, and if it's within 3 feet of the surface, it should find it, especially with the size of it. HO scale. No, that head in the ground, maybe 6 feet across. That head sculpture there. Richard Homburg. He's going to bed. Or is that his sled? Going to bed in a sled. That's one thing I'd like to have being up here, and be nice to have a snowmobile. And I watch this guy, Jeremy Rides on YouTube, and or was it the other one? But anyhow, this guy, he bought a snowmobile for $500 or $350, something like that, and fixed it up. That's one thing. Forrest Fenn has a lot of things that are worth $350. Moses was $350. The bracelet's worth $350. So, is the $350 bracelet a clue to Moses, back to Moses? The $350 connects the bracelet to Moses. And why don't more people name their boys Moses? I got my ancestors, one of my where is he? There. Okay. There it is. 4th great-grandfather and 5th great-grandfathers were both Moses. Up in Canada. I think my 6th great-grandfather, I think, fought in the Revolutionary War for probably for the crown. That's why I haven't found. That's why I don't find him in the Revolutionary rolls or anything, because he would have been on the British muster sheets. So I had to look at that. So, and they had to move to Canada after the Revolution. That's why my Rogers ancestors and my other ancestors were up there, and I'm even related to the Massey tractors, Massey combines and stuff. They're my cousins. Through this same family line, all these people up in Canada, up around Grafton, Canada, and all the families are, and there's some famous families that came out of there, that area there. If you're ever driving on the through Canada on Highway 1, Queens Highway 1 or whatever. It goes all the way across Canada, Trans-Canada Highway. It goes past this, the Big Apple, or this, it's a apple orchard, and you can stop by apple pies and apple whatever there, dried apples or all kind of apple whatever, and that's where my family, Rogers. There's pictures of Rogers harvesting their apples, their apple orchard there in Grafton, and it's the same area, so kind of related to those apples up there. But the guy that runs Rogers Communications up there, he's not related, not close. He'd have to go further back and way back. If you find the chest, will a small part of you be said? He entered the dreams of so many others. Something you pondered. Yeah, that was Massey Ferguson. Yeah, Massey was Daniel Massey was the founder of Massey Ferguson. He invented the combine. And I've got a story about the family there up in Canada, and the wife wanted her husband to go get her some comb for what is that, a flax comb or something for her spinning wheel and whatever, and he took off on his horse. And 25 miles, he's back like 4 days later, because it's a long way to go back then. He'd go through the woods and around there to get there. And one of the cousins had walked all the way from the other side of Lake Ontario, like this Syracuse area, walked from Syracuse to Grafton, Ontario via Niagara Falls. Walked all the way around Lake Ontario, to go visit family. People used to do that. And like that book was saying, people that had axes, you couldn't, because they used that thing all the time. They worked out. They were strong. We don't compare it all to them. We give up way early. Get out the power to them. Boom! Saw through. But yeah, I'm related to Massey, and Mark Twain is my third cousin. I got the software. I could pull them up and show you this, but I got my family tree all the way back to Adam and Eve. That's 140 generations. And so that means is 80 generations to the year 0. You figure generation every 25 years for 2,000 years would be 81 generations now. So that means 140 generations would put Adam and Eve back about 2500 BC, or even sooner. Though they say all those years in the Bible, Noah lived 900 years. That's 72 years. It's 900 moons is 72 years. They were counting moons. Many moons ago, they, and a moon is a month. So, and there are 13 moons to a year. So whatever year it says, how many, he lived 900 something years, and divide that by 13, and that was his age. 78, 69, 70, 75. Some lived to be close to 80, but it works out perfectly. They didn't live for 900 years. And there are people that believe that. And they believe that, and they don't believe that what I'm seeing, and I can show it to them. The people that have come and seen what I've found say it's there too. So 700 years old. Oh no, that was when something happened. No, was Moses 700. Oh, okay, maybe but Noah lived to be 900 or something. If Moses was only 700, then yeah, he was young. He wasn't old enough to have the gray beard that they depict him with. Divided by 13. He was only 53. Oh yeah, the Noah had an ark. Yeah. An ark is an omega. Seeing God first hand. Yeah, that's what I think. That's how they had. Yeah, he turned white after. Because he had dark hair when he went up, and he came back down with white hair and sunburn from the heat. It's a bush that burns but doesn't destroy itself. What in the world? What in the world would be a bush that burns and doesn't destroy itself? The bush that keeps burning. Your mother-in-law comes back from the... Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I had some... This is some mother-in-law stories. Yes, yep. Drank a lot of Pepsi. And go in the bathroom, and there'd be like a horn section, Yeah, or you want to turn up the music when she was in the bathroom. Yeah. Yeah. There's all that Pepsi. They call it Poopsie Cola. But, yeah, that ex doesn't talk. Won't say hello to me. Nothing. I don't exist. So, what else? Anything else? Anything else? Oh, 43. A Wiccan. I was like to. Where's the other one? Where is it? I got more of them. Oh, well. Can't find it. Only got one. I can't see too good. I had my one uncle. My aunt, my uncle married a woman who became my aunt, but someone in her family had a glass eye, and I remember popping it out and popping it back in and joking about it, and the people that have those things, they're able to joke about it a little bit, but you don't want to joke with, you don't joke with somebody that you don't know good. You don't. It's not cool to crack a joke like that to somebody when you just met them. But after you've known them a while, I'm sure, like Roosevelt probably had some crippled jokes. You know what I mean? You can't always be totally sensitive. If you're too sensitive, you ain't gonna have no sense of humor. It goes together. It's like I thought I'd try these things were cheap. I got these, and it's like, man, those are just way too phony. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you get bad neck pain, and this is not a paid promotion. I'm not affiliated with the company. I may have a little bit of native blood in me, but this stuff here, oh, it's backward. It's called Lakota, and it's extra strength, extra fort. It says extra fort. I don't know why it says extra fort. Okay, but anyhow, it's oh, that's what it is. It's another language. It's French. Extra fort. Strength is fort. Fort means strength. Did you know that? Did you know that fort and strength are the same? A stronghold. Yeah. Fort is strong, yeah. Strong as fort. Brave is a Native American with a hatchet. Or with your scalp in his hand. That's a brave. But anyhow, this is a joint pain formula. And I bought my son a bottle of it, and I asked his wife, I said, did you try that stuff, the Lakota stuff? Oh, that stuff burns. Too much. It's way too hot. It burns when you get in the shower. It burns. It's got eucalyptus and things in it and stuff, and other herbal things, and not only gets rid of the stiff neck, the pain goes away. It's like your skin absorbs some, I guess a Native American formula. It's got capsaicin in it, and it's my doctor said it's just borderline of the legal amount, because it says on it, I thought. And the one doctor I brought to the doctor, and she looked at the bottle, and I can't even touch the bottle, and she's, could feel it. But yeah, this stuff, sometimes you put it on, you don't feel it right away, and you let it dry, and then you go sweat or something, and all of a sudden you feel, whoa, it's turned on now. But it's some really, really good stuff, and the bottle lasts a long time. It's a roll-on, so it doesn't stain or nothing. And I just look at my neck was sore, so I put some on my neck, and you don't want to touch where you put it, and then touch your eyes. Do not touch your eyes after handling that. You can also pour this into an aerosol, and I'm sure it'd work a lot better than pepper spray. I call it snake spray. I take the same thing and pour it in another bottle, and I'll sell snake spray. And so you on the rattlesnake, and I can't even see what I'm doing. No, I don't know if their eyes see the infrared or if it's just a sensor. Thanks, Dana. Dana's my sister. She's out in California, I think. I'm okay with the second place prize. Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's it's like okay. It's down to there's all these formations. Which one is it? Which one is the blaze? And I believe that Moses is the blaze, and this head is right below Moses. I mean, Moses can spit on that head from where he is, you know. Um, and it would be really cool to find somebody who knows the rock climbing stuff and get set up and go up above Moses up on the cliff and then rappel down to Moses, you know. They'd probably want to go right up the front face of it though. Well, you climb up, I'll walk up there and I'll just go down. I ain't doing the climbing. Second place is a set of steak knives. Yeah, they have Fred Flintstone's knife, and I've got a leg bone or something from a deer or an elk that I found, and I'm thinking of using that leg bone in my knife, my Pueblo knife, according to Forrest. It's a Pueblo Indian knife that's between 518 years old and 868 years old. No, wait. Yeah, no. 832 years old. Oh, no. No, he said 1150. So, yeah, it's 68. So, there's more time adding on to it. It's getting older now. Next year, it'll be a year older. Speaking of that, I think I can make a Forrest Fenn fanatic calendar with some of my pictures and with from my cartoon things. Some of my Forrest Fenn cartoon. I have them all in a folder I call cartoons. That, but it's some of it's like my art there and stuff. But I can make a calendar on Zazzle and sell that. I don't. I use my own art from it, so I'm not selling somebody else's, and it's a creation. I found my chest. Yeah. Ring the bell. If you find the chest, ring the bell loudly. Ho! Right. This is my Moses. Except, right. My Moses has the little tiny. I don't have little hands, but Moses, his statue, he mentions the little hands. The little hands. The one I got up on the rock has little hands, just like the one that Leo Salazar carved, and because he was an omnipotent guru, and he knew where Moses was, and he died in 91, so he took it with him. He knows where Moses was. Yeah, it's hanging on my door here. There. Get that out of the way. Take time out and I'll find it. You ain't gonna... It's all covered in snow right now. Like I said, I didn't even get to the hills and the ground was covered with snow. And it's up in the hills. It's up in the mountains. You can forget. I say it's above 8,000 feet, not 5,000 feet. You want to narrow it down. There was another video. Somebody put a video up, and I guess there's some map program where they could show it only the elevations that are between such and such. and it's an animated video. So if you want to see, you can pause it and to see your mountain areas. But I noticed the thing shows the the mountains. It shows covering more area than what is, you still got a lot of area that not mountains in there, like the canyons. And when he says take it in the canyon down, when you take it, you go down the canyon to egress to. If you've been just take the chest, take it, and go down up the creek to the. Yeah, you could probably rearrange the poem, and you just don't mess with it. But when he messes with the word, he says he messes with the words, and he's messing with you. I don't know. So and you don't believe he is, but he is. Yeah, and he'll give some clues that might be just some of his what do you call it? Some of his embellishment. It's not real. It's like how many people has he drawn an X on their picture? Oh, it's right here. It's right here. Every time he puts that X on there and tells them it's right here, he's telling a fib. He's not telling the truth. So do you think every time he put a clue out, it was true? Or when he said to the reporter, oh, if I told you how brown was, you go right to it. And he's laughing inside because that doesn't mean anything. I told them they're going to have to look all over for it. They're going to have to work hard for it. And Eric Sons would work hard. I got to work harder on writing a book about it because I think it's part of it. I got to write a book about what I found, and it's not going to be a book about the treasure hunt. It's going to be a book about the mammoth temples and the Ice Age people it could be these things are not. They might not be 13,000 years old. They might be 40,000 years old or 50,000 years old. I don't have the expertise to make, but I know that they're at least as old as the last mammoth to walk North America. They're at least that old. They're at least that, and they love their mammoths. They had plenty of them. So it was when mammoths were abundant. And 158. I always hit 58. 58. Why did I always get 58? 58. It's always on my clock. It's yours. 58. 5 and 8 is 1 3, which backwards is 3 1, and the 31st degree of and the I had 3s and 1s and 1s and 3s and 13s, and 13s are some, to some it's bad luck, to some it's good luck. Oh, I give up. I'll never find it. I'm pretty sure it's near that head. But I'm gonna have to go there alone and look because I don't want to go there. I'm tired of digging. I'm not gonna dig no 30-foot hole like that guy did. And I dug a hole. I'll admit, I dug a hole, and I filled it back in. And if I went back there, you couldn't tell I had dug a hole there now. you know. It wasn't. Once I got down to where I could see that the soil layers were natural and undisturbed, I knew that nobody had dug a hole there before. You can. That's one. If you when you start out digging your hole, when you're only like 6 inches down or so, you want to cut everything smooth and cut around your edges smooth and see if the layer, like it looks like this, continuing hole is disturbed, or if it's layers of soil in there. It tell you that this soil's undisturbed, so no reason to dig any further, you know. Um, but the shovel bite in the last picture, it's, he says don't dig where you're not supposed to, you know, or and it's like doing 120 miles an hour on the highway, you know. Don't do it where you're going to get caught. Where you might get caught, you know. If there's no way anybody's going to catch oh, nobody ever goes here. Then you're fairly safe, as long as you don't have a fire going that gets their attention or something. And my spot, nobody would be there, except the mountain lion. That's what I wondered about that knife, that cutting tool. It has another touch or some general name for a tool, but I call it a multi-tool. But I was wondering, why was that tool there? Was the guy there making arrowheads, skinning twigs, and a mountain lion killed him? And so there's the knife there. So there could potentially be a skeleton nearby, But when you find bones of like deer and stuff up there, sometimes you only find a couple of them because the animal ate that part here and there. Like I was out there working on the generator, and Jack come up with something hanging in his mouth, and I looked, and there's still fur on some of it. It was a rabbit foot, and the whole rest of the leg bone was, bloody and down to the bone. And he said, "Oh." There was nothing left of him, So I guess he ate a rabbit. As far as I can figure, he must have caught one. 'Cause he hadn't eaten his food. So, must have been a jackrabbit, because Jack really enjoyed him. I wasn't getting, no way you can take it away from him. I mean, he already ate the rest of it. What am I gonna stop him? Oh, gotta get him his shots. Okay, that's 2 hours. That's enough. I'm gonna sign off. Have a good day. I don't know, Rick McDonald. Those people don't even watch my video. Oh, Gorman, he's so lost. Doesn't even have a good idea. And I watch Guy Lasers. He posted a picture of a cloud that looks like the Emperor's ship, in Star Wars. So suddenly I was thinking of Star Wars. I don't know why. Yeah. But you can see shapes in clouds, and you can't see shapes in rocks. There you go. That's what a hypocrite is. I'm discredited. K-Pro bought a deck of cards from me and all, and I think, hey, she's friendly and whatever. But no, Bill Gorman never has anything anything intelligent to say. Nothing at all. We try and pretend, as Toby instructs us, to pretend that Bill Gorman doesn't even exist. And what is it? Forrest called them biddies. Yeah, biddies, or or the other term was hags. You know, and I don't know, like they say, you don't have to be. Yeah, well, yeah, I can't even. You're not even allowed to say that. You don't have to be an N word to be an N word. There are white ones, you know. Yeah, biddies, old hags, and bigots, and biddies. Usually, biddies are bigots, and biddy is a kind word for a bigot. You know, and when you're considered the bottom of the pile of the Fenn treasure hunters, you're usually considered the bottom of the pile by the bigots. Yeah. Kawana Parker. Kawana Parker went to the Indian church, the Church of Peyote. And you people don't think, what could that be? It means your imagination, you're going to see shapes and rocks, and you go out in the forest at night on peyote. Good luck. You're going to see more than shapes and rocks. Yeah, you might see God in the burning bush. So that's enough. I had enough. Let you see my frogs one more time. One frog, two frog. Pair of frogs. And we'll see you later. We are the largest street. Yeah, later, Bill. Yeah, I thought about using these to leave them out there as little treasures. And you see, because you can put stuff inside them. You can put a little something inside them too. That would have been a perfect. What does Troy call them? Proxies. It would have been a great proxy. You know, with a little IOU on the inside. Okay. Good night. Happy hunting.